Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings, RiseToWar Legacy. And we are doing, again, the lore stuff where we're kind of exploring the world. I've been doing a series on this in RiseToWar. I just thought it would be fun. They're fast, couple-minute videos, and I throw out some lore points as we explore. And again, if you didn't see my other ones and you enjoy this video when you're done with it, then you go check out the other ones or click the next ones and the things that pop up. But here we go. Helm's Deep. Alright, we're going to be seeing a lot of Helm's Deep when the War of the Rohirrim comes out. Anyway, I don't want to date this video, but very excited about that series, that movie. So, War of the is obviously inspired by Peter Jackson's. This is the RiseToWar. Technically, it's a phone game, but it is by New Line Cinema, and obviously has the rights to New Line Cinema, Peter Jackson movies, and Warner Brothers, which is kind of cool. So, like, Helm's Deep is obviously a replica of the movie. It's not exactly like the movie. They took some creative liberty compared to some of the other ones that look identical, like Minas Tirith. But that's pretty cool still. It looks pretty good. Let's look at their art. So they got some art right there when you click on it. But let's look at their art card. Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep, commonly referred to as the Hornburg, is a great stronghold of men located north of the White Mountains in Rohan. Built in a mountain gorge, the fortress is nearly impossible to capture and serves as the last refuge for the Rohirrim should the Riddermark come under attack. Is it not said that no foe has ever taken the Hornburg if men defended it? Chapter The Two Towers, Book 3, Chapter 7, and I'm pretty sure that was... Is that Theoden who said that, or Aragorn? Maybe one or the other. There's a lot. It's funny because in the movies we only have like a lot of characters, right, to watch. But in the books there's so many more main like characters that really matter in the story. Obviously, from a movie perspective, they had to cut down on like 2/3. They took like 2/3 of the characters out. So it's like 1/3 of the main characters still, and obviously like the main fellowship. But they took out a lot of characters. But beautiful. Beautiful location. Next place we're gonna hop to is Isengard, which technically is our capital, even though we're playing Arnor. I talk about that in a different video about the game. Don't worry about that. Isengard, it has nothing to do with Arnor, mind you. Nothing to do with that. But technically, I shouldn't totally say that. I believe Orthanc was built by the Númenóreans, wasn't it? So maybe that's why they put Arnor as the control for this season. Usually it's Isengard, obviously the Third Age, because Saruman has it under control. But they gave it to him as a location. Cool thoughts. Obviously inspired directly by the movie. Looks fantastic. But again, information, if you didn't know, the original Minas Tirith, I highly think Peter Jackson changed to make Minas Tirith completely a fully white city is cool. But in the lore, the front outer biggest wall is actually made of the same obsidian type of really strong stone metalwork that Isengard, the tower, is made out of. Isengard just had a rock ring around it, regular rock wall, but the tower itself was made of the impenetrable stuff. That's why the Ents were able to destroy the wall of Isengard. But they're like, they just, in the movie, they don't really show it in the movie, but in the book, they like put their hands into the wall and their hands like grow, you know, like roots, and they just go, and they just destroy the outer walls, right? Orcs don't stand a chance, right? Especially because the main army wasn't there. And they wipe them out, right? And then, of course, they release the river, which they don't really have a river up high in this, but floods all the orcs out. But they couldn't hurt Saruman in his tower. Saruman just hides in the tower, basically. So that is what happened in the book. And then, technically, if you don't remember in the books, they actually, Treebeard's put in charge of watching him, and he kind of like, he's not negligent, but he almost feels sorry for Saruman because he knew him for so long, because Saruman obviously is a wizard, and obviously Treebeard is they're both very old, so he ends up letting him leave with a Grima. And that's why in the Lord of the Rings Return of the King book, you have the entire scouring of the Shire, right? Is that scoring? Scouring. Anyway, one of those words, sorry. But where they attack the Shire with the ruffians, right? Which again, personal opinion, I think that Peter Jackson's choice to completely cut that and just make it where the Shire is now defended and never got attacked was a really good decision for the movie. Now in the books, I think it's a very important, pivotable, that's not the word, getting tongue-tied. It's the worst. Okay, we're not going to cut that. We're just going to keep going. But it's a very important moment in the books. I think it's very good. But anyway, little side note, he doesn't actually fall and get stabbed on a spike like he does in the extended edition of the movie, which also felt bad because if you didn't know, in the original cut, theatrical edition of the Lord of the Rings Return of the King, they cut that whole part, which of course made Christopher Lee rightfully kind of grumpy, and I think they should have never cut it because it was kind of important information, but they had to for the movie theaters or whatever, right? So Jackson cut that. And then, of course, The Return of the King they all got Oscars, all three movies, but it got the most. And, of course, his name wasn't in it because he wasn't in the theatrical edition. Now, granted, he is given the credit of doing a great job because of the wonderful extended editions. But still, that didn't seem right. They should, like, reactively... I forget, did they reactively go back and give him credit later? They should have. But that was up to whoever does the Oscar, blah, 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 whatever. Moving on, I feel like that was just. But, again, he knew that we all knew that he's amazing and that he deserved all those Oscars being part of the whole series, then being in the Return of the King as well. So, but moving on, that was like a history lesson on the movies. But it's really, really cool spot. Let's check it out. So Orthanc technically was built by, I believe, the Númenóreans. So the same technology. It's not mithril, but of the obsidian type of dark stone, which, of course, if you know actual obsidian, can be very strong, but it's actually quite brittle. So obviously it's not, it's a type, it like that. It's a black stone of type. So Orthanc is the impenetrable tower of Isengard, built by the Dúnedain during the Second Age. Well, there we go. I guess they're testing my lore here. Located in Dúnedain, also Arnor, also the Men of Gondor later. Located in the far south of the Misty Mountains, it stands in the center of the protective walled ring. There stood a tower of marvelous shape. It was fashioned by the boulders of old, who smoothed the ring of Isengard, and yet it seemed a thing not made by the craft of men, but riven from the bones of the earth in the ancient torment of the hills. Interesting. The Two Towers, Book 3, Chapter 8. Cool. Beautiful art. So anyway, super fun. Hope you enjoyed these little series. If you do, don't forget to leave a little like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Thank you to my wonderful Patreons for their support. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next ones. If you have the inkling and means or want to help out, you can check out Patreon or any other links. But there's a lot of free stuff you can check out as well down there. And liking and subscribing, that's free. Next episode will be up there for this series and RiseToWar stuff. And over there will be a LOTR tale in the Lord of the Rings Online. Check them out. I'll see you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Stay happy, my friends.